This week in Washington, President Donald Trump has launched a two-front effort to change the headlines and his image. As fresh documents and emails tied to Jeffrey Epstein circulate, the White House has pushed a new message: focus on foreign policy toughness in the hemisphere and highlight a get-tough posture on Venezuela. Reporters say the move looks like political rebranding, confronting a domestic credibility problem by shifting attention to international threats and security decisions. New disclosures about Epstein's circle have revived uncomfortable questions about relationships and social ties that once surrounded Mr. Trump and his allies. Those developments have prompted calls for further document releases and legal scrutiny. At the same time, U.S. naval activity in the Caribbean and conversations inside the White House about options relating to Venezuela have drawn attention. Some critics say the deployments risk escalating tensions with Caracas. Supporters argue they demonstrate a clear deterrent posture. The Atlantic and other outlets describe an Armada-style posture and urgent military briefing activity around the president's desk. The White House frames the moves as protecting Americans and regional stability, but some opponents see a pattern. When domestic controversies intensify, administrations sometimes amplify foreign policy actions that command top-of-headlines attention. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and other critics have warned that high-stakes military posturing could be used to distract from politically damaging disclosures. Inside the West Wing, aides have balanced two priorities: respond to requests for greater transparency about Epstein-era documents while managing the diplomatic and operational implications of military planning. Officials say public messaging will be disciplined, and legal teams are tracking the document releases closely. For voters and foreign capitals, the result is messy. Questions about the president's past associations now sit alongside concerns about possible U.S. actions near Venezuela. Analysts say the strategy could pay short-term dividends in news coverage, but it raises long-term questions about trust and the use of foreign policy as a political tool. What happens next will depend on two things: whether more files change the public picture around Epstein, and whether the White House follows through on any aggressive operational steps near Venezuela. Either development could redraw the story in Washington. Subscribe for real-time updates and a clear timeline as this story develops.